Well, Vietnam was a very unpopular war. We were doing what we were ordered to do. We were soldiers. It wasn't that we had other things we'd rather do, but we were soldiers and we were told what to do. And I think some of the people back here got the warrior and the war mixed up. It wasn't our fault. We were doing what we were ordered. That's what soldiers do.
Married on August the 12th, 1967, and when we got back from our little honeymoon, there was a letter from the president, and it requested that you be at Nashville on September the 12th,
yeah, it was a month, 1 month to the day I was inducted
into the Army.
And I served my basic training at Fort Campbell, and then after that I went to Vietnam. I was with the 1st Cavalry Division, and we were the Northern Quang Tri Province was our main area of operation. That's the northernmost province in what was in South Vietnam. Of course, it's all just Vietnam now.
When Grant went to Vietnam, we were just newly married. And so I pretty much learned to be in control here. I thought I was the boss there for 2 years when he was in, and I handled bills and things like that. We didn't have kids. We lost a baby at the time he was in Vietnam. And he didn't even know that for several weeks after that happened. And I might get a bunch of letters. We would promise we would write every day, but you might get 2 weeks worth of letters all at once. And the last letter might have said his buddy got killed, and you knew he was upset, but you wouldn't hear again maybe for 2 more weeks.
We were out in the field most of the time.
Chinooks go by, Grant recognizes him. He was the first air cab, and y'all moved around.
Yeah. Chinooks and Hueys. We liked the Chinooks because when we was on a Chinook, well, they wouldn't take them into hot LC.
But there was a lot of fighting where he was.
Lieutenant Dan said we was looking for a man named Charlie. So sometimes we found him, sometimes he found us.
After going through the worry and things, we just wanted a simple way of life, and we knew that farming was a good way to raise a family and come to a farm area, and so that's kind of what we had in mind when we come back here, and we're able to do that.
We moved back to Kentucky, when was it, 71. My first farm that I bought is on Highway 849 and Meridian Road. It's an intersection there. It's a total of 63 acres. There's 44 acres tillable. My second farm is on Highway 80, about halfway between Mayfield and Fancy Farm. It's 208 acres total, about 144 acres tillable. Now, we found out about the NRCS a little later on when I bought the farms down here. And Danny said, we really need to put some waterways in. And said, it's going to wash if you don't. So he introduced me to the people up the USDA and the NRCS, and we worked through them. We put the waterways in, and the waterways over here are really good. They have held up good. And I've got waterways on the other farm too. It's a little hillier and we have a little more challenges on it, but they've held up real well too. You've got to do that or this whole hill ground will wash away.
The soil just doesn't hold up without that cover crop.
You've got to have the wheat. The wheat is absolutely
if it's any way he can, even Grant's told him, if you lose money on it, we're not worried about it. It's not how we're making a living, and our life isn't going to change. We want it taken care of. At the time, I wished that he hadn't been drafted, but when we got married, we were committed that we would be married, and I knew that we would, no matter what, we would be married. We would stay married, and it made us closer to each other. We learned, because back then you didn't get much military pay. I can't remember how much it was, a couple $100 a month at tops.
No, I was making $72 a month.
And I think 30 of it come home to me and there at first. So it was tough if I hadn't have been working. And
but I'm extremely proud of my service.
We never considered not him going or taking off to We knew people that
Oh.
said, you stay in school and you won't have to go. That
No.
really wasn't an option. Grant thought if he's no
Yeah.
better than anybody else that's going
That's
and
right.
fighting for this country. If he needs to go, he'll go. And we realized
right.
that.
I was no better than anybody else. I didn't never consider myself a hero.